Hi everybody, it's Amy G. It's 5 o'clock, which means it's Wine Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well and had a good week since we last saw you when we were able to catch up with Tyler Beatty. And we're really excited that this evening Mike Yastrzemski is going to join us. We're just waiting for him to chime on in and I'll bring him in live. We have some fun questions for him. You guys were great about writing in, and we'll play a little fair or foul, and we hope that you guys will start participating in fair or foul with us. We'd love your thoughts on what you think is fair or foul so we can play it with the players. There he is. Hopefully I hit it here. And we just want to get your thoughts on what you want to hear from the players. Let's welcome in Mike Yastrzemski. He's coming all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. So we really appreciate. There he is.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing okay. How are you?
Good. Cheers.
Good job. I'm proud of you. Cheers. What are you drinking,
I was
my
ready
friend?
for you.
Yeah.
I have some Sequoia Grove Cab right now.
Very nice. And Mike, we got really lucky because Jackson Family Wines, we live in wine country out here.
Yeah.
And Jackson Family Wines sent me a big box of wine for these. And so I know. I got La Crema Chardonnay.
That's
one
awesome.
that you and Paige might really enjoy. Listen, did you have a chance to check out wine country when you were here?
We did. Yeah, we went for my 28th birthday. Nope, just kidding. 29th birthday. Oh.
I feel like I went for my 28th birthday like 20 years ago. How cute.
Yeah, it was fun. I ended up actually hopping on the wine list at Sequoia Grove. It was the last one that we went to, and we did really well up until then. But we've been there for like 6 hours, and I was feeling pretty good and enjoyed the atmosphere there. So I was like, I love this place. I'll join your wine club, I guess.
I'm in. You got me. I feel like the last wineries that we visit in the day are kind of a sure thing, because you've been to 3 or 4 by that point, and
right.
And you have to make the most of your off days. You don't get very many of them, so
yeah, you have to.
I love it. Okay, so you got to let fans know before we get to some questions for you, just what you're up to, how you're doing, how you're living life without this game that you love.
Yeah. Still loving the game, obviously, and
missing it.
I've been reliving some really cool Giants memories over the past week or two.
Good.
And I've just been, I've been taking my wife's yoga class, which has been great.
How did she do? She was on right before you.
She was. So she streams it, and it's all free because she was feeling, with everybody in the healthcare world kind of putting themselves on the line, that they deserve a free class and to be able to work out somehow, some way for free. And,
awesome.
She works for Core Power, but right now she's just kind of doing it on her own.
I can't tell who was a bigger hit last year, you or Paige, because
I think it was Paige.
Dwayne and Mike literally, they'd be like, scan the stands for Paige. Let's see Paige. What's Paige doing? Because her reaction. She's always there. Yeah. She's very transparent. She wore it on her sleeve, and we love that about her. Good choice. Listen, I don't know if you've been having to do honey-do list type of projects.
Oh yeah.
I have my husband doing it. You don't think you've met Paul, but he's a collector / hoarder. He's a sports writer as well. And I had him go through several boxes in the garage after 20 years. And I'm like, maybe, let's tackle this. What do you think? We have a little time. So one of the first things he finds, Mike, is this article. So hopefully you can read this, but it's so old. It's 81 could be Yaz's last
What?
year.
That was the first box?
This was in the first box, and he comes in, he's like, you might want to give this, or no, actually, I'm not allowed to give it to you. You might want to show this to Mike. I love that. And then there's Grandpa.
That is very cool.
How cool is that?
It is. They were wrong, though. He lasted another 3 seasons.
They were wrong. And that's what he said was so cool about this, was they were wrong. And I said, did you write this? He's like, 81, Amy? Sorry. was like, sorry, I forget how old we are. And he used to clip out articles as a young boy. So Paul would have been 11, not 10 or 11 when that came out. And so we just thought it was kind of fun. And I think it's fun because you look so much like Grandpa,
I
especially
appreciate
there.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
so I am going to save it for you because he doesn't even know that I have it.
Thank
so
you.
that's for you. All right, let's get to some fan questions because people send in a lot for you, and we don't have a whole lot of time for you because we want to make sure you get back to Paige. So Jen Lolo Shu, she wrote in, Mike, and she said, if they decide to play baseball without fans, how will that change the game for Yaz? I mean, obviously drastically, but how crazy would that be?
It would be, but you know, that's kind of baseball at its purest form, right? That's like the Sandlot. You're going back to your childhood days where it's no longer about trying to put on an image or trying to play for fans or anything like that. And I think it would really show who loves the game. The guys that come out and still play with the same energy and passion, you're going to see that. And I think some guys may not react as well, but in my mind, it would almost make it a really unique experience and almost kind of cool. You know, you never want that because you want the fans involved.
Sure.
They are part of what's best about the game, but I just think that I love baseball, and that would be like you're just like competing against the best guys in the world in the backyard in stickball almost, and so that would be unique.
I think you're right. Like there's a sense, there's so much energy that you guys gain from the fan base, and they're definitely, you know, all these years they've been a 26th man. Coming into this season, they would have been a 27th man.
Yeah.
But there's, without the noise and that energy, it might level the playing field for a lot of guys who kind of get rattled by that. It would kind of be interesting to see some numbers of players and, you know, who goes up and who goes down with no fan base, although it's not, you know, ideal. Yeah. But at the end of the day, do you feel like, you know, I know you guys are all in these discussions and stuff, so I don't want to ask you to say anything you can't say, but the goal is to get back on the field somehow, some way, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would love to get on the field any way possible, but there are so many other people that you have to think about, whether it's cameramen, umpires, you know, the staff, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, like people that really would be being at risk that aren't actually,
In the
you know,
game.
in the game, and that's what is really hard to weigh on because you're asking so much of so many people to make one game happen,
Yeah.
and I think it would be incredible to get back out there, but I'm personally not willing to put anyone else's safety at risk. I mean, I would do it myself because I love it that much, but I would never want anyone else to be in there.
That makes a ton of sense. Some little sarcastic fan just wrote in that baseball players would be able to hear the banging of the trash cans if there were fans. And we know that doesn't apply to the Giants. Come on.
Yeah, well, the other team would hear it too, so.
The other team would definitely hear it. Okay, we have a question from Patter Mama. What does your home workout look like? You know, that's a big question that we've been asking Gabe Kapler and how they're keeping you guys in shape, and that weird balance of like, how much do I go right now, not knowing when we're going to play?
Yeah. I think the best way to try and describe that is to understand that if we stay at about 60%,
okay,
then that's kind of our like hit range is where we want to stay, you know, in shape enough to where when we come back, it's not going to harm us. We're not going to get injured, but also it's a good time to let your body heal and to, you know, it's like an extended off season and you don't get this chance very often to try and either be healthy or, you know, get a little stronger, faster, whatever that may be. But I've been doing a lot of flexibility stuff with Paige. We have a few light dumbbells and some medicine balls, and so she runs me through her yoga class, and that's a huge perk that I have right now that a lot of people don't, is my own personal yoga trainer. So that's huge right now, and so I just have her to kind of lean on right now, which is great.
I'm gonna take one of her classes. You have to tell her though that she absolutely cannot laugh at me. You know, Tyler Beatty made fun of me last week because he did this on just how I don't do any flexible type of sport. I hit things or kick things. It's kind of what I do.
That's fair.
So I'm a little self-conscious, 5'10", trouble touching my toes. It ain't pretty when I do yoga.
The only way it happens is by practicing.
Thanks,
And
Mike.
right now you practice in the comfortability of your own home. She can't
I
see
could.
you. No one can see you. It's on Instagram, so it's not a Zoom, so no one sees you.
Good, good pep talk.
Yeah,
I
so
like that.
it's in the confines of your own home, so you should have more confidence than ever to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna run through a wall for you. Okay, Tyler Beatty had a question for you, by the way.
Okay.
He wants to know if you'll say who your favorite roommate at Mandy was.
Wow. I had 7 favorite roommates at Andy.
I think you're cheating. I think you have to pick one.
I can't, because I am in the unique spot where I actually am in touch with every single person that I was a roommate with at Mandy. And fortunately, let's see, three out of the 7 are in the big leagues, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So was Tyler one of them?
He was. Yep. Tyler.
So who are the other 2?
Tony Kemp and Sonny Gray.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray, former Athletic.
Yep.
I like it. Hey, somebody just wrote that you need to keep the beard.
The beard is kind of tough right now. It's a quarantine beard. I'm just warming up for a mustache May though, so that's my big thing.
Mustache May, that might be something that trends. I like that.
I think so.
Okay, we have another question. It comes from Suzanne5587. Thank you for writing in. She'd like to know advice you would give to little leaguers about the game. I mean, they're hurting too. This is their season, and I think though in general, like, what would you say to a little leaguer that says, I want to be you when I grow up? How would you approach that question?
I would tell them to just keep playing when they can, and to take advantage of all the fun things that you can do in the backyard, whether it be hitting wiffle balls or bottle caps. There's a lot of ways that you can really improve your game without actually playing baseball. So whether it be, you can work on your hands by throwing a tennis ball off the wall. You can work on your arm strength by throwing into a net by yourself. You can go out and run. You can run sprints, circles in a baseball pattern. And it's just, there's a lot of ways that you can actually be improving without being on a baseball field or team. So taking advantage of those things to refine some skills.
I love that. That is priceless advice for the little ones. I hope lots of mamas and papas heard that out there. I do want to ask you, it was so much fun, Mike, covering your visit to Fenway last season. And I know a few people have been writing in about your home run in that game and seeing your grandpa. You've had some time to let all of that sink in. And I know it was quite the whirlwind. You were amazing being accessible for the media for that. Thank you. But now that you're able to look back on it, what does that mean to you to have had that time with him at that location and the type of performance you had in that game?
Well, the performance was just kind of an unconscious thing where you don't think about it and you're just in the moment. So that wasn't even, I don't know how to describe that. I don't know how to describe really being able to play in that situation other than I just had to think about it as baseball. And it was fun, and I just get to play in front of my family. And that was a unique experience that not too many people get to do. There are a few father-sons that have played on the same team, which is really cool. But to be on the field with your grandfather is a different type of level. And to see everybody's reaction to him, I've seen it a few times. I've watched him throw out a first pitch a few times and seen people's reactions and how much he meant to the city. And to just be on the field and a part of that was so special. And I don't know if, how many times an away player has caught a first pitch, but that was pretty cool to be able to do that. I was a little nervous. I felt like it was like, I'm like, someone else should be out here. This is a little weird, but it was cool.
It all went off without a hitch. It's one of my favorite, I've been covering this team for 13 years and it goes into one of my tops, just watching that entire thing unfold. And you guys are just so sincere about everything. Today would have been it is Jackie Robinson Day, but it would have been your chance to wear jersey number 42 along with everyone else in the game. It's an extremely special day. At 73 years ago, Jackie broke the color barrier in this game and broke the game open, not just for race, but for gender. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for what Jackie Robinson did. And I'm just wondering, your thoughts in general, but also if Grandpa would talk about what he did for the game, and if you have any story of Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, I actually did like 4 book reports on him, and I used to dress up like Jackie Robinson to go in and do my book reports and read his biographies, and he was a huge inspiration to me just because of what he did for the game. And he was such a unique human being. There are not too many people in history that could have ever gone through that. And to be grateful and thankful is such an understatement. And I am really, really bummed I didn't get to wear that jersey. Hopefully, if we have a season, we still do it because I think it would be that important. And and he is that much of he's left that stamp on the world that he deserves it. And his family deserves it, and our entire baseball community deserves it. And so I think that would be really cool if we were to still do that. I know it's not the day, but I think it still should be remembered, even though we're talking about it today. I think it'd be cool to see the action of that.
I like that idea. Maybe the commissioner is watching this
Yeah,
and you're having a glass of wine with us.
Hopefully he is.
I mean, it's kind of that big. Come on.
It is.
Okay, from one legend to another, Pablo Sandoval. He's a legend to us in the Bay Area. You were mic'd up in a game, and Pablo, or in spring training, and Pablo called you Yaz glass of whiskey. It's just so Pablo. But what does that mean? And is whiskey really your drink?
I do like whiskey. I like red wine, though. Okay. I don't drink a whole lot, so if I drink whiskey, it's a half a glass or something like that. But it actually came up because he was fumbling his words trying to say my last name and kind of stumbled upon glass of whiskey. It started with lots of whiskey, and then it went to glass of whiskey. So, I mean, I guess the second one doesn't sound as bad.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's like a similar Hunter Pence story, but it's with his nieces and nephews that they had a hard time, I guess. I don't know if they had a hard time with Hunter Pence, but it sounded like underpants. And so that's, they call him underpants, Uncle Underpants.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.